create a listening culture that elevates the employee experience inside your organization. In my new Cycle Listening Action Planning Guide, I uncover how you can ensure those you lead feel heard by taking 3 key approaches to listening at work. Get the free guide at heatheryounger.com today. Hello, and thanks for joining the Leadership with Heart podcast. This is Heather, just you and I talking. Occasionally I like to stop in and just talk to you. One of the things that I wanted to bring up today, a real pointed message, something I've been hearing a lot lately because I talk a lot about listening. And when we think about listening, often what I'm talking about is how do we make other people feel heard, valued, and understood? What are the things we do to make them feel that way? Why do we want them to feel that way? What happens as a result of them feeling that way? Lately, I've been getting a lot of people asking, okay, well, I'm on board, Heather. I want to do the things you're telling me to do to listen better. But how do I get people either that are on my team, that report to me, that are just in my department, the executive leadership team, my customers, to listen to me better? I have a couple of responses to that. My very first one and my initial gut reaction is this. We cannot wait for other people to listen to us before we learn how to listen to us and to others first. We need to control the thing we can control most. We can control most how we listen to others. We can control least how others listen to us. We can't control their behaviors. And as we think about change is an inside job. It starts with us. And we can't even have a hope of someone else around us treating us differently or acting a different way if we don't first be mindful of how we listen to ourselves, and then, of course, how we show that we listen to others. So I would say, don't get so frustrated about how this person is not listening, this person is not acting or responding based upon my new way of listening. That's not as much their responsibility. Your responsibility is to start with you first. That would be the first thing. The other 2 tips I would give you are these. One is to make sure that you're speaking to someone in their communication style. So as you are delivering a message and you're trying to listen and making your communication 2-way and really being understanding and seeking to really get what they're coming from, we need to make sure that we are first talking to them the way they need to. And what I mean by that is, what is their preference? Can you tell if they get kind of excited when you send them data or spreadsheets or procedures and they really thank you? Wow, thank you so much for doing that, because in their mind, you heard them because you gave them what it is they need to hear you. That's the first thing. So communicating with them in their language. The other tip I'd give you is to make sure that you find out, by you paying attention, listening to the unsettled, unsigned, unrecognized things that they're saying, unspoken things that they're saying, things that may not be normally recognized by most. But you pay attention to what it is they're tracking. What is their measure of success in whatever position they're in? If it's a customer, if it's a team member, if it's an executive leader, if it's a board member, what is their measure? What is their dashboard? You got to pay attention to what is on their dashboard, and you have to make sure the thing you're trying to get done internally connects to their dashboard. If you can't find a dotted line or create a dotted line to the thing that's important to them, their openness to listen to you will be diminished. So it's incumbent upon you to listen very well, to pay attention to the things that kind of get them excited. You know that. I remember I had one team member I worked with. He was somebody just on a different team, but he supported me in my role. And I went to him, and when I'd go to him, he was very technical. He was a sales support person, but he really liked spreadsheets and data and organization. And I necessarily didn't love that, but I knew what he needed from me to receive the message I was giving him, the request that I needed. So when I went to him, I made sure my I's were dotted, my T's were crossed. I gave it to him in a spreadsheet. I had all these things I knew it was his language. So when I gave it to him, he appreciated it a lot. And he and our relationship at work flourished. And to be honest, I still work with him to this day. He's an analyst for my firm. And it's because at the very onset of the relationship, I understood what his language was, what it is he needed from me. And I also knew what he would feel like to be successful if I spoke in that language. So I delivered it on all fronts. But in the end, it was incumbent upon me first to listen to him. So that's kind of my focus for you today. I wanted you to be thinking about that. Hopefully you can kind of let this ponder that if let's not really focus so much first on how people are listening or responding to our new way of listening and getting better with this. Let's first just continue to work on us. Practice it till we get better and better. Potentially we will influence others so that they'll do the same thing. Speaking to people in their own language, in their unique language. Do they need stories? Do they need data? What do they need from you to be more receptive to listening to you? And then thirdly, make sure you pay attention to what's on their success dashboard and make sure the thing that you're looking to get, the thing that you need from them to move forward on a project is something that connects to that, or you find a way to connect to that. It's not manipulative to listen well. It's meeting them and gifting them with the things they need to feel heard. And in the meantime, you get also what you need. It's all a win-win situation, but we have to start off with the right mindset. That's my time with you today. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And don't forget to share it far and wide. And don't forget to go write that review. I haven't been seeing a lot of people listening do that, but it helps more and more people find these really good lessons, either interviews that I have with other people or just with me. I like taking the time when something comes to me strongly and multiple times to share those tips with you. And hopefully this has been useful. Thanks so much for joining the Leadership with Heart podcast. Be well.